PARCC testing. What is it? Why are we doing it? This testing process is new to all of us, and we're here to let you know exactly what it is.
Format that the state has adopted. It's Partnership for Assessment for Readiness, College and Careers. That's what it stands for. It really focuses on the Common Core overall. The Common Core is the adoption of standards that New Jersey has as their standard format. So the testing process will take place for us. It will focus on language arts, English language arts, and math. And when you look at those two subjects areas, you're talking about 9th, 10th, and 11th graders that are going to be tested. And really what they're trying to focus on is the testing of critical thinking and skills for English language arts and problem solving for math. Those are really the areas that they really want to focus on. So it is a new experience for us all. There'll be computer-based testing, which will be different for everybody as well, as compared to the old HESPA test, which was the standard written test. So that's a new adventure too for the students. That's really about the PARCC and what the PARCC represents. The problem becomes that we looked at as a class, instructional time, is we looked at instructional time and we said, okay, how much time can we give up to testing? Because PARCC, all 9th and 10th, 11th graders for English and math are going to have that test. So even though they're not taken for social studies or for science right now, there's still instructional time that they're going to lose in those other classes. So as we prepare and as we actually take the test in March and then again in May, is you're losing class time from all your subject areas. So we felt that what the state recommends is upwards of 30 days of testing for PARCC. So if you take 30 days out of a calendar for students, you're looking at a lot of instructional time. So you're only here for 180 days, so you lose 30 approximate days that you could lose. So on top of that, if you add in midterms and finals, another 5 to 10 days for each testing window, now you're looking at upwards of 50 days that you're losing class time to just test. And we felt we want to get back to more everyday assessments, formative assessments, project-based learning assessments that will allow more class time and less of the loss of instructional time for class time. So that's why we tried to look at both of those things, knowing that PARCC was going to be a big time factor, and knowing that we're going to probably lose some time in class. Although we don't think it's going to take us 30 days to do the test, that's what the state is looking as a window. The idea is a test versus the skills that you're testing for. So the PARCC is testing for college and career ready skills that are tied to our Common Core, which is built on that foundation. And we need to focus on those skills, and that's what the language arts and math, it's going to be problem solving and skills based versus necessarily rote memorization or just knowledge, is the application of those skills. So the same thing applies in college, although some colleges still have a midterm and finals, not all of them do. They're going to different testing models too. So the hope is that as high schools, because this PARCC test is K-12, transfer to that test, also colleges will be looking at things differently and not just looking at the same type of testing, because we need to be able to assess differently, because as you know, everybody learns differently. So that's what the focus is. That's going to be what we call marking period assessments. So it's going to be a marking period assessment versus a midterm and a final. And it may be very different in a crafts class as compared to a technology class, as compared to a media class, as compared to a social studies class. So that aspect of it will be, so you have 4 marking period assessments, and they're meant to be a project-based type of assessment that applies to that discipline. So they will be different for each one. Whereas in art class, maybe doing a portfolio, that you're going to get, a 2-week project, you're going to have a capstone activity. A media project, you may have the same type of activity. English, you may have a writing a sample aspect of it. And again, it's for skills-based types of assessments. So that, although you're not getting PARCC tested in those areas, that's the type of assessment that will be in the other areas. And that will be for everybody, 9th through 12th grade.